you're not lazy. And if you keep believing that, you'll keep fixing the wrong problem.
There is something I have observed lately, and I don't think we talk about it enough. We talk about productivity, we talk about discipline, we talk about consistency, but I don't think we talk enough about how people are actually designed to work because I've noticed something in myself. I can sit down for hours, literally hours, and just think, observe, analyze, process, have conversations in my head, break things down, understand people, see patterns, find meaning. And when I'm done, I feel like I've worked, like I've actually worked. But if you look at me from the outside, it looks like I've just been sitting there doing nothing. And that disconnect made me start asking questions. What if the reason why a lot of people feel stuck, lazy, or unproductive is not because they're actually lazy, but because they are trying to function from the wrong part of themselves. Because I've started to notice that people are not all wired the same when it comes to work and productivity. Some people are naturally productive from the mind. They think, they process, they observe, they speak, they receive, interpret, and translate things that other people don't even notice. Their work happens internally first, and then there are people who are naturally productive through movement. They act, they build, they move, they execute, they bring things into physical form quickly and effortlessly. Their work happens externally. Now, here's where the problem is. We live in a world that mostly rewards what can be seen. So if your productivity doesn't look like constant movement, constant doing, constant visible action, it's easy for people to label you as lazy or for you to even start labeling yourself that way. But what if that's not the truth? What if you're actually functioning in an environment that doesn't align with how you are naturally wired to produce? Because I've realized something that when a person who is naturally a deep thinker is forced into constant physical execution, they don't just struggle, they drain. And when someone who is naturally action driven is forced to sit, overthink, and analyze everything, they resist it, not because they are incapable, but because it's not their most natural, energy efficient way of functioning. So what happens? Procrastination, frustration, confusion, and unfulfillment. And then people start thinking something is wrong with them, when in reality, there's just a misalignment. So here's where it gets even more interesting. I don't think the goal is to box ourselves into this is all I can do mentality. Because as people, we have the capacity to think, to act, speak, and build. But I do believe there is a place where your strength flows easily, where you don't have to force productivity, where you don't have to fight yourself to function. And that place matters because that's where your power is. So instead of trying to be everything at once, what if you focused on understanding? Understanding where you naturally come alive. Is it in thinking? Is it in expressing? Or is it in doing? And then instead of struggling to carry everything alone, you learn to leverage. If you think deeply, I think you should partner with someone who is more efficient in execution. And if you execute powerfully, you should work with people who bring clarity and direction. Or if you can communicate, it's better to combine both worlds. Because real growth, real wealth, Real impact rarely comes from doing everything by yourself. It comes from understanding your design and building around it. So maybe the question is not, why am I so unproductive? Maybe the question is, where does my productivity actually live? And have I been ignoring it? Because the moment you understand that, you stop fighting yourself